I've likened it to this analogy I put many years ago called bricks or balloon. I can carry these bricks, heavy judgments, right? You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're this, you're that, and just weigh me down. Or I could treat it like a balloon. Release, let it go. It is going to go wherever it needs to.
Welcome to Real Talk with Real Leaders, inspiration for radical freedom dreamers, a space where we uplift powerful voices, discover deep wisdom, and spark the courage needed to lead in today's sea of uncertainty. Together, we'll reimagine what's possible, one conversation at a time. I'm your host, Dr. Tracey Samone, Queen of Clarity and Care, and your go-to strategist, facilitator, and coach, helping social impact leaders and organizations get unstuck and get things done. Today, we have a fabulous leader lined up, but first, let's anchor down in the Anchor Way. The Anchor Way is a leadership framework designed to help leaders move forward with clarity, connection, cohesion, care, and courage, even in turbulent waters. Let's take a closer look. Think about leadership like a boat. To move through uncertain waters, it needs to be well-built, well-guided, and well-powered. Every boat is built from something. At the foundation of effective leadership are three essential materials. Clarity, a grounded understanding of where you're headed and why it matters. Connection, the ability to build trust, communicate honestly, and stay rooted in relationships. And cohesion, the alignment between your values, your vision, and your daily decisions. This is what effective leadership is built on. Without it, the structure is fragile, no matter how bold your vision or how skilled your team. Aboard every boat are essentials for the journey to help you set direction, carry the work, and guide your people. The first is the compass, your direction. It represents your vision, your priorities, and your sense of purpose. It helps you stay oriented even when conditions around you are shifting. Next is the cargo, the actual work you're responsible for carrying, the programs you run, the commitments you hold, the culture that you're shaping. These are the things you're building, protecting, or transforming through your leadership. Then there's the crew, the people you lead and journey with, your peers, your partners, your team. They depend on you for clarity, direction, and care. And you depend on them to carry the mission forward. Leadership means resourcing and aligning your crew so that you can move forward together. Below the surface, every organization is influenced by the current. These are the external forces like policy shifts, funding pressures, or community needs that shape your course, whether you like it or not. You can't control the current, but you can learn how to navigate it. And what propels the boat forward are two internal forces, care and courage. Care is how you lead with humanity. Courage is how you make hard decisions with integrity. Both are necessary to move through resistance and build something real. Every interview in this series is grounded in one or more parts of the Anchor Way, because we believe leadership is not just about vision. It's about structure, systems, and soul. And we're back, leaders. Today we have with us Alex to talk about cargo. And Alex and I met on LinkedIn because we share a common last name. My maiden name is Dumas and his last name is Dumas. And so we just been pretending like we play cousins ever since then. We might actually be cousins, we don't know, but we act like we cousins anyway. And he's a leader I've had my eyes on. So I am super excited to have him with you here today. And Alex, I'm gonna let you tell the people who you are. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you, Tracy. Glad to be here with you. Glad to be connected with your audience. For those who do not know me, at least not yet, Alex Dumas, based out of North Carolina, aka God's Oven, as I like to joke, but I'm originally from New York, descended of Haitian immigrants. My parents came over in the 70s, fell in love, met each other, had some babies. They saved me, the best for last, as I like to joke around with friends and family. But as you know, years have gone by, one of the things that I'm really most passionate about in the work I do as a professional speaker, as an MC, as a strategist, as a coach, is working with organizations and their emergent talent. They're the folks in the room that maybe feel they have to be silent and sit down. They have a great idea, but they got a little bit of the T-Rex arms, Tracy. They kind of like, they get the alligator arms, like, I got this idea, I want to do this, but They don't want to be bold. They've been told in the past, you're too much, you're too loud, you're too this, blah, blah, blah. What I love to do with leaders is just wake that up to make it safe, to make it okay for them to do that. And I love your analogy of the boat, right? Because there's this phrase, right? When the tide rises, all boats rise too, or I might be botching it, but you get where I'm going with it, right? We all rise together, the collective brilliance, as I call it. So that's my work. That's what I love to do. And I'd love to share that with you and your audience today.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for sharing. So today we're going to be talking about cargo, which is actually what you're carrying, your commitments, your burdens, your responsibilities. So we're going to dive right in. I know that you support leaders. So, when it comes to like supporting leaders and getting them to get out, to get rid of those T-Rex arms and to just jump in and dive in, what type of cargo do you think that they're carrying that keeps them from actually taking that lead?
So a good friend of mine, she gave me this phrase yesterday, literally like at the time of recording this. So I want to give a quick shout out to Louisa. She put up this word, recycled fears. And I was like, ooh, that that stung because as I think about it, as we think about our conditioning, we learn from our parents, our guardians, our community, our schools, whatever. So whatever baggage, whatever things they're carrying on, whatever beliefs they have, subconsciously they're ingrained in us. This is something I love to teach from the stage. This is a part of the keynote itself. So I show pictures of my kids and I'm like, hey, remember when our kids started talking, right? We were excited. Oh my goodness, mama, dada, they say their first words. Woo woo, we're celebrating that. And then over time, it becomes, well, this kid's talking too much. They're a yapper, they're a motor mouth. You know what? Now they're talking back. Right. And the question I throw to the audience is like, well, what happened? What happened with this thing that this beautiful little creature, it's grown up, is trying to find its way in the world, and then we as adults, and I'm complicit in this too. So this is not Alex on the soapbox. I have two children, a 15-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I can see where those moments where I maybe have been sharp with them or a little bit uh, unkind, not as empathetic, how that shapes them. And I recognize that for me in my life, like, oh, all these different moments, these are the things that I picked up. These are the lessons that are ingrained in me. And there's not gonna be a whole parenting lesson, but it starts in our early development. And when I work with leaders, oftentimes they are little 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds in these 30, 40, 50-year-old and beyond bodies. And part of the work that we do is I I look at helping them come back, what I say to coming back home, coming back to who you really are,
Mhm.
claiming that, owning that, being comfortable and confident in that, so that you can produce the results you want, so you can lead effectively, so that you can just have a good life, whatever that means, good in air quotes, but whatever's effective for you.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said. I do, I'm a parent coach and I do a lot of parent coaching and we talk a lot about like that inner child. And I like how you call it recycled fears. We talk about limiting beliefs and like these are
Mm.
things that are just in your subconscious that run and they prevent you from stepping into the fullness of who you are. So there's this idea that you have limiting beliefs that are cargo, but then there are also like positive beliefs you can have that are cargo. So when you're working with other leaders, like what types of empowering beliefs do you try to instill in them so they're replacing that old cargo with new cargo?
Oh, that's a great one. I remember working with this young lady several years ago. She was I had a background in the military. We're having a coaching session, and she's telling me, I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to develop my own business and develop programs, but I don't know what I can do. I don't know who's going to follow me. She's having all these limiting beliefs, recycled fears. I'm like, okay, tell me about your military background. She starts going through that, and I'd say, all right, can I just relay something back to you real quickly? Okay, sure. And I just started going through her accomplishments like, hey, you're the person that people called when all hell breaks loose. You're the person that blah blah blah. I'm just going through it. And she was, but it took her a second to, capture herself. She's like, whoa, I've never heard myself in that way before. I never thought about myself in that way. And there's something that anybody who follows me on socials, you're gonna hear me say a lot that words matter, that words really create. So we have to look at what are the words you're saying to yourself? What are the words you're speaking out loud? Because the words you're speaking out loud I guarantee you, whether positive, negative, you're repeating them probably 10,000 times, 20,000. Like it's infinite number of times that you're saying, wow, I can do this. I'm amazing. I've got this. I got a track record of success. I know I can do this. I have resilience. I know what it takes. Right. And then the other side, the side that I came up from when I was younger, well, I'm not important. I'm too stupid for this. I'm dumb. And I could believe that. It's a choice of what am I going to believe? The truth of me standing firm, standing out for my own potential, or arguing, fighting, clenching, right? The grip of my inadequacy, my deficiencies, my my failures.
Mm-hmm.
And that might sound kind of wooey to some people, but it's the truth, right? Our words really matter. If I speak it out enough times, it's going to become true at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And it sounds like for her, you became a mirror. You were able to hold up a mirror with your words in front of her for her to truly see herself. For
Yeah.
you, how do you discern between what's truly yours to carry versus what you need to release? Because we can have these limiting beliefs that we carry. We can have these, how do you know what to let go of? Like, that is not mine. That is not my burden. This is the cargo I choose to carry. How do you know the difference?
I look at a couple of different things. One I grabbed from a colleague of mine, so I want to give a quick shout out to Reem. She knows who she is. She threw this question to me last year, but we are building a community of coaches of color, and we were kind of stuck on this one thing. And she's like, "Hey, how can we make this simple? Right? Light bulb, the divine download, all this. Like, how do we make this simple? And how do we make this fun?" And for myself to discern those things, I look at that as my North Star, my anchor, my compass, right? Of is this fun? Am I enjoying this? Is this something that's lighting me up? And that's not to say you have to do everything that's passionate. There's plenty of things I do that I don't enjoy doing, right? Waking up at 6 in the morning to make sure my teenager's up for school. I don't enjoy 6 a.m. I would rather wake up at 7, but I have a commitment to making sure she gets to school on time and gets the best education possible. But for when I think about myself, I know myself so well, and this is gonna sound weird. Like, of course you know yourself, but like I know the different things that poke at me, that trigger me, that upset me, that annoy me, and I try to find a way to play with that and find the gold in it. If somebody cuts me off, I'm gonna throw that finger, that special finger out, but I also can reset and be like, wow, I just dodged that accident. Wow, I'm glad that my life is not over or my car's not harmed because this person's decision to either cut me off or speed up, whatever happened. Now it's done, it's over. And I think that's the best part about the past is that it's over. It's released, it's there wherever it needs to be. And I have the choice, I have the opportunity at this very moment, right? Snap of a finger. All right, how do I want to live? Who do I want to be as I'm living?
So, I want to talk a little bit about one piece of your leadership that you carry with pride. What's a piece of your cargo that is like the pride of your life and your heart?
That's a great question. I have to say my enthusiasm. I think for any entrepreneur, there's a bit of delusion too, right? There has to be that level of I'm going to be the person who's going to lead this movement. I'm going to be the person who's going to inspire people, whether it's from the stage, virtually, or in person, or write a book, or whatever your path is. So I think my enthusiasm for life, I'm always seeking, wait, like I said, where's the gold in this? Where's the value? What can I learn? What can I take away? And that only comes from many years of not thinking that way, of being down on myself, of mistrusting people, cheating, lying, stealing, being what I would call a mess, a wreck inside, but yet the mask of everything's fine, everything's good, got to be perfect, got to be great. Bing. No, I'm fully human as we all are. I'm gonna have my days. I'm feeling great. I'm wonderful, and other days like, hey, not just get away, give me space, and back away. And when we carry those that cargo, I love that analogy. I've likened it to this analogy. I put many years ago called Bricks or Balloon. I could carry these bricks, heavy judgments, right? You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're this, you're that, and just weigh me down. Or I could treat it like a balloon. Release, let it go. It is going to go wherever it needs to go, but I'm now uncumbered, untethered to these beliefs. If I decide that that's the way it wants to be, if I want to go into my room and be, no, Tracy, I'm the worst podcast guest in the world, and boo hoo, woe was me, and stay here for a, a day or a year, I'm losing out on a lot of opportunity. But if I can reset, feel the emotion, not bypass and not stuff it down, but whew, okay, didn't feel that, didn't like that. Now what do I want to do? What do I want to create from that? That's a more effective way to move.
Yeah, bricks versus balloons. That's a beautiful image to see. It makes me think I saw a video the other day. I don't know if it's on Instagram or TikTok, and this guy shared like you can have paranoia, which is like worrying about everything going wrong, but you can have pronoia, which is like a little bit of delusion. Like everything's gonna work out, like the
Yeah,
Lego, but
it's gonna work out.
so
Yeah.
for you, it sounds like you have actively done the work to choose the balloons over the bricks. What was the
Yeah.
turning point for you? Like at what point were you like, you know what? I really don't want to carry that anymore. I would much rather carry this.
Great question. That real catalyst, I'm gonna take you back around. We're gonna rewind time for so some of you folks out there, get your coffee, back story time. I'm gonna take you back to December 2005. So kind of touching on what I mentioned earlier, right? On paper, things are going well for me. I'm a senior in college. I'm getting ready to graduate in spring. I got a job, full-time job, so I'm starting my career in the nonprofit space with special needs individuals. I got a car, so I'm able to go places. I'm doing my thing, but inside, I'm using substances to mask pain I'm feeling. I got different addictions. I'm isolated. I'm depressed, and one night, one person changed my life. Where I'm on MySpace. So I'm telling you, I'm going back now. Tom, Top 8, like that MySpace, Cassie soundtrack, all that kind of stuff. I see this young lady online. I slide into the DM, as the kids would say, reach out to her, and somehow she responds back, right? I gotta play with you with this one. So my first words to my wife, right? Spoiler alert, she became my wife. I said, "What up? Nice pics." Not even what's up, Tracy, just like what up. I didn't have time. Like I'm from New York, we got to get to it. So WADDUP. What up? Nice pics. But those three words were the catalyst. And as we spent more time together, she was really one of the first people that I did one of these. I put a finger on my ear as she was talking so that it went in this ear, but it didn't go out the other. And she would tell me things like, wow, she would pour belief into me. I believe in you. I think you can do this. You're better than what you've been showing. You have more potential. You have more to offer. You hear that enough times. Maybe I do. Right? You kind of like brush your teeth, you wash your face, like, hey, maybe I am somebody, right? And some people might think that's corny, but that's what it took. That was the catalyst of it, right? Just one person, one idea, one thought, and then obviously me being the person to take the action. I had to seek the help. I had to seek the support. I had to seek the removal of the environment of the friends I was hanging out with, that I grew up with, the people I was around, knowing that I could be here or I could create something with her. And I would say I made the right choice.
I love that. I love that story. It's so much to be said. I know on the boat, we always talk about the crew too. It's like who is supporting you, is helping you move forward. And it sounds like you got a crew member on your team that is pushing you forward and allowing you to continue to hold balloons versus bricks.
Yes, absolutely, for sure.
So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about your legacy. If
Cool.
nothing was holding you back, what would be the next chapter of your leadership?
You said if nothing was holding me back,
Mhm.
gosh.
You were being lifted up by all the balloons and all of the world. Anything you wanted to do, what would it be?
Wow. Oh, the first thoughts that come to me is creating leadership development centers in my hometown and also in Haiti because That country they've been through a lot, right? And will continue to go through a lot. So how can I bring what I've learned, what I've experienced in my life to those who, let me put it like this, Tracy. Nobody where I grew up talks about creation or speaks about possibility, right? They're good people. They're hardworking individuals. I love my hometown in Long Island, but that's not the conversation. The conversation is more like, hey, what kind of Jordans you got on? Man,
Mm-hmm.
what's up with that ride, man? Like how much, what you selling today, right? Those are the conversations people are having. They're not elevating their consciousness. And like I said, not a knock to them, but it's also a matter of, do they have access? Is there awareness? Is there a desire for that? I would argue that most people have that fundamental desire to do better, to be better, to have more. Well, with me being in balloon state, right? That would just be a way to expand and help them grow their minds and help them with just real opportunities, having somebody believe in them and say, you know what, I see potential in you. Right. And that's happened to me in my life over and over, but I was at a state of maturity where I wasn't ready to hear that. I wasn't ready to accept that responsibility. What do you mean I'm great? Don't you know right? I got my bricks. Don't you know I got this? I'm tossing the bricks at you, the mental bricks. And well, what if I could just receive that? What if I could just have a mentor, a guide say, I believe in you and I'm going to give you an opportunity to prove me right.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the first thing I think.
I love that. I love that. Giving some other people balloons, it sounds like, helping them replace their balloons. I mean, their birds with balloons. So, what do you want your legacy of leadership to be? When it's all said and done, what will people say about Alex?
Alex was somebody who let me know that my story mattered and my voice mattered. He was somebody who didn't give me the words, but gave me the space to speak my words.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Alex. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for sharing your wisdom. I know that the people are going to learn a lot from it, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. Tracey Samone, Queen of Clarity and Care, helping social impact leaders get unstuck and get things done. We'll be back next Friday. Bye.